target, there's virtually nothing you can do. So if you're a target, there's virtually nothing you can do.
I can disrupt an individual from the level of their cell to their system, and disrupt individuals on a variety of levels, from individuals all the way up to the social fabric. Target a specific individual, change or eliminate that individual with very little attribution and trace, and be able to leave prior to any attribution.
Who here actually feels like they are under surveillance pretty regularly? Everyone inside of Occupied. How many people here have been arrested and had at their court date, they had their phone taken into the back room? How many people here had their retina scanned?
If you're targeting demonstrators, you make them suicidally depressed, and they don't care about demonstrating anymore because they're too upset. With one pulse frequency, you can just make people so suicidal. They can't be bothered to act like a demonstrator anymore. All they want to do is sleep or lay in bed all day.
There's an infrastructure in place in the United States and worldwide that NSA has built in cooperation with other governments as well, that intercepts basically every digital communication, every radio communication, every analog communication that it has sensors in place to detect.
If they can't get it through the internet, through the tapping of the lines or anything like that, through a commercial means, and they're unsure about you, they can get it by close access means, coming in and actually bugging your house or bugging your, or putting monitors in your system, in your house or on your computer. They can use your computer video to look back at you, or they can monitor within a certain distance the keystrokes you're making on your computer or what you're putting on your computer screen. And if that's not enough, they can come in through the firewall you think you have but don't, and go through your operating system that you think protects you but doesn't, and read your encrypted email that you thought was secure but isn't. Or they can simply wait for you to do decrypts if you've done that, pull them off, and use your unused CPU while you're on the computer to drain it. It's called active attack.
We are in a new Cold War, and this is why countries are developing this. I mean, really developing this. And this is why all of the microwave transmitters are going up everywhere. Because somebody, if they wanted to, could use them for other effects. The system is up and running.
MIT was awarded a number of years ago to Woody Norris. This is 2005 or 2006. And that award was $500,000 for doing what's called acoustic heterodyning, being able to send a signal from 2 points into an individual so they literally hear a voice in their head that nobody around them hears.
I mean, voices are the easiest ones because all you have to do is stimulate the cochlea with a set resonant frequency. It's very easy. Voices are very easy. And it isn't people imagining voices, they physically hear them. You can physically make people hear voices, certain voices, and it can be any conversation, and it can be anybody you want to hear. It can be a soft, angelic voice. It can be a god. It can be something that scares you like a devil. It could be anything.
DARPA let a couple of contracts back in 2011, 2012, the University of California, for what's called electronic telepathy, being able to monitor the brain activity of human beings at a distance and determine what they're thinking. And then on a second contract, actually developing complex signals, being able to send them into the brain of another person, literally transmit a message. This is where the technology is today.
What we're here to talk about today is the fact that the brain is and will be the 21st century battlescape mechanism. End of story. You will encounter some form of neurocognitive science that has been weaponized not only in your military career, but in your personal and professional life. It is valid, valuable, and already in operational play. The brain is the current and future battle space. What's new about this is the in-close nature of this. Increasingly, we're not seeing these things as weapons of mass destruction against gross aspects of the population. More specifically, perhaps, might be targeting individuals on a level that allows either direct attribution or covert engagement with non-attribution. Formal definition of a weapon, probably the one that you've heard about most recently, most contemporaneously in the literature, is the possibility to use some form of directed energy to affect physiology peripherally and also to affect the physiology and health of the brain. Case in point here, US Embassy personnel in Havana and possibly in China. Clearly, one of the things we can also do is transcranial neuromodulation, the idea of going through the skull to modulate the node and network activity of the brain, to implant certain brain-machine interfaces. These are many of the DARPA programs that you may hear of now. Probably the one that is most notorious is something called the N3 program, which is the non-invasive neurosurgical neuromodulation program being run by their program manager, Dr. Al Mundi. The idea here is to put minimal-sized electrodes in a network within a brain through only minimal intervention to be able to read and write into the brain function in real time, remotely. And by affecting the way that brain is built and the way it functions, influence in ways that are kinetic and non-kinetic. The attitudes, beliefs, thoughts, emotions, activities. Look at the power that understanding, tools, and techniques, brain sciences afford.
If you want to cause a specific psychiatric illness, you would have an infrared device that followed the person, and you would link it to a pencil-thin microwave source. So the microwave beam would always target a specific gland or a specific part of the brain or an eye or a heart. So you would have them being targeted.
So if you're a target, there's virtually nothing you can do. And if they fail in their electronic means, they can always send the FBI at you to do a sneak and peek and take your photograph or do whatever they want. As they have done with us, by the way.
So you guys are actually, in a sense, the canaries in the coal mine, right? Because the incentives are all lined up against you. Anybody see on the subway, link your MetroCard to your debit card, right? And like auto refill. This is a concept which is key to everything we'll talk about today. And it's called linkability. Take one piece of data and link it to another piece of data. So for example, if you have your MetroCard and you have your debit card, you have those things and you can draw a line between them, right? So that's like not a scary thing, except your bank card is tied to everything else that you do during the day. So now they know where you're going, when you make purchases. So when they decide to target you, they can actually recreate your exact steps with a MetroCard and with the credit card alone. Like literally where you go and what you buy. And potentially by linking that data with other people on similar travel plans, they can figure out who you talked to and who you met with. When you then take cell phone data, which logs your location, and you link up purchasing data, MetroCard data, and your debit card, you start to get what you could call metadata in aggregate over a person's life. And metadata in aggregate is content. It tells a story about you, which is made up of facts, but is not necessarily true. So for example, just because you were on the corner and all those data points point to it, it doesn't mean you committed the crime. So it's important to note that if someone has a perception of you having done a thing, it will now follow you for the rest of your life. So just keep in mind that what happens to you guys, for example, with fingerprints and retinal scans and photographs, that is what is going to happen to people in the future when they resist policy changes and when they try to protest in a totally constitutionally protected way.
Intelligence communities or agencies of the world are gaining too much influence over government, how governments operate. And this is moving really to a Stasi state, basically. And it's not just the United States, it's countries all around the world. You have to be aware that these agencies are threatening what is fundamental to human rights everywhere. And you've got to ensure that you have some way of verifying and keeping these agencies in line. And whatever it takes in law and whatever it takes technically to make that happen, these governments around the world, all of them need to do. I mean, in fact, I don't think there's anything you could do to stop it. They're after you, they're going to get you one way or the other.
And then, of course, you also have the things that are a little bit more traditional. If we talk about things that can be operable in the biochemical space, we ordinarily talk about drugs, bugs, toxins, and ever more, we're considering devices.
With these capabilities, basically, the vast majority of human and computer-to-computer communications, device-based communications, which sort of inform the relationships between humans, are automatically ingested without targeting. And that allows individuals to retroactively search your communications based on self-certifications. So for example, if I wanted to see the content of your email or, you know, your wife's phone calls or anything like that, all I have to do is use what's called a selector, any kind of thing in the communications chain that might uniquely or almost uniquely identify you as an individual. And I'm talking about things like email addresses, IP addresses, phone numbers, credit cards, even passwords that are unique to you that aren't used by anyone else. I can input those into the system, and it will not only go back through the database and go, have I seen this anywhere in the past? It will basically put an additional level of scrutiny on it moving into the future that says, if this is detected now or at any time in the future, I want this to go to me immediately and alert me in real time that you're communicating with someone, things like that.
If they want to experiment on you, by the thousands, they will. And you can be driven to insanity and death, and you just become a tick in a box without any so much as a feeling. Yeah, and this is what they do, and this is why they are above the law. One of the experiments was to take an ordinary sane person, cause insanity, and have a psychiatrist who was unknown to everybody diagnose schizophrenia or paranoia or a psychiatric illness. That was a successful outcome. And the person would spend the rest of their life in an asylum in misery, but to the government scientists, that was a success.
We also see the use of biodata as a viable weapon, manipulating biodata so that I can then put into your particular medical records subtle information that may change the disposition of whether you're sick or not, change how you're treated, influence the postures that go to you in terms of insurance, care, viability for military service. By altering that information, by changing those data, by purloining those data, I essentially change the you of you. And I can do that in very subtle and insidious ways. Furthermore, I can do that on a variety of different levels that can affect key individuals so that in fact your medical record changes to thereby render you incapable or at least invalid to be able to serve in a way you're serving. Or I can do that on a much larger scale, groups, populations. And if I change those data, I change the way you're being regarded and treated. And I can do that in one of two ways. I can do it in such a way that you're going to be regarded in a negative sense, or I can do that in such a way that I'm going to treat you incorrectly. If I say, for example, you have a particular allergy or you have a particular disorder, you will be treated for that. And that could then harm your health and your stability in both a short wars approach as well as a long wars approach.
Low-level microwaves were causing an enormous amount of cancers and leukemias and ill effects. And by then, everybody was leaping onto the microwaves as stealth weapons, and they go from there, which was the 50s, right up to and including the present day.
I guess my my frustration is why I couldn't get through to government, members of government in the House, Senate, or in the judiciary, or in the administration, or in the Inspector General's office, or anywhere, to actually start to realize what they were doing is stand up and say something against it openly. That was kind of the very frustrating part, because you thought these people who took the same oath of office that I did would actually do that, and you also thought that they would value the principles in the Constitution and what they stood for in terms of human rights and human freedom. But they don't apparently care for that. I mean, it's more it becomes an issue of money, control, and power, and it's not a question of human rights anymore.
So for the last 40 years, the government, the English government, has been lying to the people. And the American government, the Canadian, the Australian, they have been lying. They've been lying to protect industry, protect their profits, to protect themselves from lawsuits. I believe that this industry and the part of the government which is encouraging them will be responsible for more civilian deaths and suffering than all the terrorist groups in the world ever. With the growth of the industry over the last 15 years, I would say now that these people are probably going to cause more death and suffering than the entire Second World War. And is that genocide? Yes, without a shadow of a doubt. And are they going to get away with it? Yes, because they are untouchable. They are outside the law. Scientists at the end of the war were hanged for what scientists today are doing and getting away with. Absolutely. Yep.
Our government could not just have a general writ like the FISA court ordered with the Verizon transfer of data on 110 million plus US citizens without being named or given probable cause or anything else. That was a general writ written by our FISA court that should be called into court by themselves and individually explain why they did that and what was the reason for it and their justification to do it. They need their day in court instead of doing everything in secret. They never come out and tell anybody what they're really doing or what their real understanding or secret interpretation is. That's because they're too afraid. They're cowards. They're hiding behind a secret interpretation applied with a secret court in secret by a secret government.
Sanctioned by the World Health Organization, without a shadow of a doubt. It is the same people. It's the same people sit on the ICNAP certificate. They sit on our government's health.
Give thanks and praise. Break. Just a brief interruption. Now, when we say our government here on the island, like you see the political system that is in place, and you see all of the atrocities, our little puppet government represent the institution or the entity where these foreign people are expressed here. So now we all look at the great divide, really, literally. And what is that divide? Good over evil. Good against evil. I share this information again to bring honorable clarification to say when I see all my thing them, equipment them act up, and a coincidence. And may I use this specific, say, data with these foreign people, because none of these people will share this truthful information look like me in terms of phenotypically. Yeah, they're not Indian like me, they're not dark skin like me, but they're a man, they're a human. You understand? That man, you know, would be a white man. And in our culture, in a certain area in our culture, them foreign to us, so we fireborn them are the devil, and I am here to say no. Look at the spirit. You understand? Andrew Holiness would never participate in a documentary like this. Why? Because him would be on the other side. He wouldn't want to expose this information. That's why Andrew Holiness aligned himself with the shadow area, the demonic area, the adversary of human. Yeah, them are the adversary to what we call mankind or man. It's not a color thing like, hey, throw your black or your white. No, this is an ancient battle of good over evil. And we're there at a pinnacle now where them are trying to perfect them enslavement, them a try perfect them colonization, them a try to perfect what them a try do to make sure so we can never be free. This is why my advocacy is just freedom. We share information for, validate the effort where we are make. So when I man speak as a little yard man, where them would have said, oh, him there on the island, where him know, them would ignore me. But when we share information with people where it's purported to be scholarly and reputable, then we will look and see ones totally ignore it and them cannot help it because they were programmed that way. That's why I shared esoteric information to deprogram our people. Not all of them are going to make it. But if I can only save one, then I know say boy, mission accomplished. Because that one will be able to save someone else. And how we are present our information, I tell you, say it's a 4-lane highway. I'm gonna provide the freedom. It's unheard of in this time. You can't go nowhere, but learn what it is. Yeah, man. So we do give thanks when we get a chance to express and share this kind of information. All when it go over one's head, we don't have a problem. We make sure to place it. So when you get it, it never go nowhere. It's just a matter of time before it's activated. So we like to plant seeds of truth, seeds of righteousness. Yeah, man. Seeds of accuracy.
Protection Agency, sit on the World Health Organization. It's the same people. It's the same people. There's probably no more than 20 of them. But they are going to, in my opinion, commit the worst genocide this planet has ever known. Not just people, but animals, plants. They are probably going to cause more destruction than a global war. And in several hundred years' time, people will look back, whoever survives, and look at what we try to do to stop them.
It's time to act, to claim that birthright and begin to express ourselves in that way. And that's not out of anger and fear. It's out of concern, empathy, love, and compassion for the people on this planet that we care about and those that we don't even know yet. The fact is, change is what's required, and not an external driven change, but an internally recognized need to change.
I'm really more disappointed in the American public that they aren't more irritated. I mean, they're starting to get there, but it's taking a long time. They aren't, I guess not too many remember history, or not too many think of history. Well, I can understand the fact that we haven't had a totalitarian ruler here since George the.
I am also disappointed in the American public, specifically those American Indians on the mainland. I'm disappointed. Not all of them, because we still share and link with a few of them where not upon the nonsense, not upon the sellout, them just a push some information where even I can look and say, wow, you know what I mean? Yeah, like Rod Hayes, the platform that share a lot of esoteric type information. It might be above a lot of people's head, but I kind of like a brethren there and how him kind of carry himself. Him and them have a next one with him, young elder. Yeah, when I get a chance, me usually we take them in and, we share them content and things. But majority of those other mainlanders, once you see them group up and them a promote the UN and them a go on like say boy, the UN owe them something, so them a get some kind of this and that, and then them attack everybody else. They don't look into a mirror, they don't walk in front of a mirror, they don't do no self-introspection to see what is really going on. This is why I share this information about mind control. So when you do the basic etymological breakdown of the word government, when you syntax syntax, that word. Then you have to say govern, you know what I mean? Meaning to control. And the ment would relate to your mentality or your mental state of being or your mental capacity. So you have to delegate authority to some sodomite to govern you. That's why I advocate freedom. And that's why I must say sovereignty. I don't want Andrew Holiness thinking can pass his place and have any kind of audacity to think he can regulate or govern a man like me. Impossible. You understand? Our brain work exceptionally well. Yeah. We don't want no guy, no one govern over us. Yeah. That's why we're sovereign. You know what I mean? Self-govern. That's what it really means. So them thing have clarity for some of the people who might hear with and think we are playing games out there. That's why I say I man personally separate myself from the mediocrity, from the distractions, from the nonsense. It don't make no sense. Salute out there, Joel Jaguar. Joel Jaguar is a man where present a renunciation document to me more than a year or two ago, long time. I'm supposed to have all the document there where I have to find a way to place it on the public record. But I know say when me do it for a man, it not really do correctly. Yeah, cause by nature, are you supposed to walk in a them place and judgment them with lightning, earthquake, and thunder. Meaning you establish yourself. Them structure you upon paper and them separate your spirit from your physical. That's why them have lords temporal and lords spiritual, something like that. In England, them know what them are doing. Them think ancient, and thus we were at the tail end. When I really align with self appropriately, we can't see it. Impossible. That's why through the ages, you gotta have all kind of ones pass through and share some information where clearly is expressed out there, but the people can't, cipher it. Them can't decipher the information. Because them program different. And that's the problem. Because I'm not there attack Spanish. I attack the very same language where my people attack from time immemorial. We haven't changed. Everybody come here and adapt this language and put their own twist to it and put their own claim on it. It's nothing new. Look around. It's up to us. It can't be up to nobody else. It's each and every individual have to apply themselves and choose to have enough knowledge they can look what go on, and then them have to see the war that is raging, the good against evil. Now these people when me a look upon where me would have called foreign man, white man, all kind of thing would have called them alien, but check them spirit. Them must say them not with it. There's a demonic entity where direct all governmental systems of this earth. And ancient them expressed that many moons ago. You understand? However, the adversary with its technology, not new. This is why I'm on Fireborn someone to come board them a clap and tambourine and church. They are telling us, sir, the adversary is more intelligent than all of we. It's more subtle than all of we. And its primary weapon is deception. It not have to fool you per se, just want to dissuade you, just take you off of your path and have you, a walk parallel to that path. It's like it remove you from truth and have you walk parallel to truth. And in a your being, You will tell yourself that you have truth. You understand? When you're far removed from it, because the adversary already get inside of you and tell you, say, look over yourself, look over yourself, for them thing nicer, for them thing more easier, oh, for them thing make you rich. That's what the adversary say and do. And the low IQ people when they balance themselves correctly, this is why I see them so switchy, pay attention. From the ones them hear me out here, I never come out here and say I am a maroon. I didn't step out and say I am a Moors. I didn't step out here and say none of those nonsense. I man step out as sovereign. I man claim Indian, West Indian. Yeah, and it's only the Indian can have a, it has a accurate claim to this Indian land, not an Indian country, Indian territory. The Sodomite Babylonian coming out with territory and create the United States of America, which is their country. And from there, that big old nasty corporation operating by some foreign congress that has been infiltrated by the banking cabal, some demonic sodomite from up north. These people, when you check history, at one point, never there like that. And they in them own specific area. This is why we say, who are these Spaniards that invaded the American hemispheric region in 1492? Who were they? In my area upon the island, them teaching in a school, say Christopher Columbus discovered them backward like yesterday. Them a teach the children, them say one foreign man come here named Christopher Columbus, him is a white man, and him come discover the place. And then the same silly teacher, them a teach the people, them say Columbus bring them from Africa on boat. And Columbus never come from Africa. Columbus say him a come from Spain. Now, when you break down the definition of what a Spaniard is, you're going to find say it's a diverse European population, meaning it's a mixed multitude of people. We are that purebred. We are that pure blood until them come here and spoil we out. However, look around. This is why I say it's not about me black or white, or not even me an Indian and you are not. It's about the spirit what we are moved with, whether we are, manifest light in the earth, truth in the earth, knowledge in the earth, or whether we're adverse to that, whether we are like Andrew Holiness, where we know the truth and move away from the truth for profit and gain, and then fight the truth, or ignore the truth as if there is no such thing. We are experienced all life, but because of the destruction, people, people miss it, can't see it. However, the very same ancient writing said 2/3 of you people want to get wiped out. And listen to the funny part, We're not going to choose that voluntarily. Just like when them say, hey, come and take some vaccine. And all of you smart ones went and took that vaccine because of fear. I never take it. These sodomite can't deal with me. Right now I'm at a point where energy lick me, say, energy slap me and say, watch out, anything where you got to eat going forward, prepare it in your house and start eat basic. That are the energy. I'm just smile and suddenly work with it. So a lot of changes are going to make where you can't even help it. You have all snacks we would have liked to eat. When we eat them snacks, then now it tear we up. We have to know, say, boy, permanently is a change and we must get old. But through me know, say, it's all alignment. You have things where you just love, but that I got they rooted away from your car. Even though you love it, it's probably not good for you. So welcome to the great divide. It's good against evil. It's good over evil. It's light where it naturally dispel darkness. Yeah, man. So it's all about the perception. Telling us that the war is about our perception. The war is for mental. That's the war there. And the true currency are going to be the accurate information that you can express and carry. Because them are going to have access to a whole lot of ones. But you're going to have a few where them just can't touch, untouchable. Literally. And they are them are going to see it and a wonder and a marvel. And most of them not going to forget. But you're going to have a few who remember, say, yo, you know, say that kind of discipline there. Just let go the fallacy and work with the truth and see how that works. You gotta start vibrate on a different frequency. That's when you gotta attain clarity naturally. And them information your eye man brain to stimulate your pineal gland, to stimulate your pituitary gland, to stimulate your mental capacity. And that's my work. That's why I'm telling us I'm a plant seed inside of me. Sometimes it make you get upset with me. Sometimes it make you want to rip me apart. But through the passage of time, when it starts germinate inside of me, I want to see other information where qualify and validate the seed that I grow. That's when I go silent and give me a different respect, but I now come up front and say, yo, warrior, forgive me, I'm sorry, I really, yeah, misuse you, as we did. Yeah, man, now that them truth, they kind of manifest itself in the earth, then, yeah, but most people, not man enough. Most people, not woman enough. Them not have no honor. If me wrong in any situation, me not have a problem. I humble myself and say, you know, I'm wrong. My humble apology, you know, please forgive me. And I'm sincere. I don't have a problem of doing that. I don't got to talk about me I use might and say I'm right, them things don't work. But a lot of people, whether even they're on this level, they don't have this capacity. Yeah, man. And then if you allow them use you perpetually, then deal with their way and not see nothing wrong with it. Until you put a mirror in front of these people. When them look at the mirror, that's when some of them get heartbreak. Because that's when them realize life is not a joke. But if you want to, you know, take it as a joke, then that's our fun. But somehow we, you know, we have moments where we have fun and we have moments where we have to just buckle down. Now at the time for buckle down. Real.
Third, so about 240 years. Whereas the Germans, you know, the Germans are really sensitive to this stuff. Why? Because they've got living memory of people who used to live under the Stasi, or people who used to live under, still some of them, under the Gestapo and the SS. They know firsthand what a totalitarian state is like to live under.
Dr. John Hall.
As I understand the memorandum from the president, it's for you to determine if current legislation is adequate in protecting individuals and if there's any ongoing experimentation. In reviewing the common rule, it's very obvious that there's a lot of loopholes to informed consent. All of the horrific experiments you've mentioned, Willowbrook, MK Ultra, radiation experiments, mostly were done without informed consent. They were funded by the DoD and intelligence agencies, where I'm not even so sure you would know if there's an IRB, much less if an IRB is looking at informed consent. As a physician, relative to some of what you're hearing today in the community, we are seeing an alarming rate of complaints of use of electromagnetic weapons, microwave auditory effects, silent sound spectrum, EEG.
Again, this is proof it's not now white against black. My people, Indians, West Indians specifically, are Wakans. Don't be fooled. Don't get carried away in this black and white. On this earth, what I'm gonna call a planet, we have what is called the human race. And the human race is diverse, but we are all human. Now, you have non-human entity where project themselves as human, but the human are the ones with the nasama, with the soul, with the consciousness. The non-human are the ones, and we look at other people as property. These are what we call the psychopath. These are the crazy people. These are the non-human entity, but them have the human features, but them soulless. Yeah. So again, welcome to the Great Divide. Targeted, yeah man, government, mind control agenda. This is where Andrew Holiness under this island is associated with. You see, this white guy, he would never be friends with Andrew Holiness because they're in a different, it's a groups. Andrew Holiness would be friends with the Israeli Prime Minister, Ben Yahu. Yeah, and he would have been friend with the Sodomite group, with the alien looking people, and from that World Health Organization. These Sodomite no live in my area where me can just get a 3 soursop leaf. And if me make some little tea with my soursop leaf and me not eat all day, then I go have no problem. All me do, me just sip my tea every few, me just sip my little soursop leaf eat. And these people from the World Health Organization exist in some location where there ice in a for them region, so them have access to our kind of spices. Them pussy that can't advise upon nothing. So when them send them memorandum to Andrew Holiness can go, impose those edicts on his slave. And when I say Andrew Holiness, I mean the political system, because Andrew Holiness just represent the office. Any sodomite can go into that office, and these puppet masters will pull their strings naturally. So don't be fooled out there. Do not be fooled and don't be afraid. Yeah, man, a truth make you free. Not me. And I have nothing to do with it. The truth make you free. So learn it so you can express it, so you can be free.
Which has taken the lab out of the laboratory and into the home. Most of these, from the research that we reviewed, can be done remotely. It seems to be more weapons research than medical research. I personally corresponded with upwards of 1,500 victims, all complaining of identical complaints from every state in the nation of being exposed to electromagnetic radiation, non-ionizing radiation for the use of cognitive control or behavior control. I've submitted a paper to you, and there's another paper submitted to each member from another physician in Kansas City, alluding to the same thing.
Thank you.
Now you see why the people were engaged in politics act the way they do. That's the new religion. They're not to put church on politics. It's one and the same now. You have people with, well, we not even say, just look out there. The discussion can only be political. Never freedom. Never freedom. Why is that? That's the mind issue there. That's why I say I go find myself so, you know, isolated after a while. I don't like, me no want, you know, participate with ones, but it's too shallow. You understand? You not play in the consequence, you not play in the effect. I want to totally disregard the cause of all that. So I man remove the cause. That's where I work from. So I man can stand and look. And wanna do what I want to do out there. But what not do not apply to me. Yeah, I won't be controlled aggregately like me a slave. Me a say watch out, me a who I am. Be specific. If you deal with a group of slaves, them there somewhere around there, so none of there, so not one is here. That's why we deal with specificity, because I tell you the judgment why this two upon you know, why it won't be, yeah, corona now go up, nothing upon it. Okay, I'm telling you that. And a lot of you got have to make that choice. Somehow you don't have no choice for me. You understand? Yeah, Babylon I got make for a choice for you. Anyway,
Ms. Catherine Nestor.
My name is Catherine Nestor, and I'm from Pennsylvania. This commission has spoken of a long history of abuse of the human research subject. Although no one mentioned MKUltra today, President Clinton recently apologized for this. My young child and I have been used as non-consensual test subjects. We have been subjected to COINTELPRO-like stalking, remote neural monitoring, and electromagnetic torture, resulting in psychological and physical damage. And I won't go into the details of that because I have 4 pages written in here that is very similar to Connie's testimony. Please do not wait 70 years to investigate this. I ask Dr. Amy Gutman to begin today. There is new work for the Commission for Human Subject Protection on our shores. And please give us a dramatic response, Susan, and please give us a congressional hearing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mrs. Marshall?
Good afternoon. My name is Connie Marshall. I'm a former mayoral candidate from Louisville, Kentucky. I have never been involved in any criminal activity. I am an 8-year victim survivor of assaults by directed energy weapons. The torture I've experienced consists of body overheating, body extremely cold, seizures, heart pain, earaches, itching behind eyes, burning behind eyes, swelling, headaches, involuntary movement of my limbs, exhaustion, speeding and heart racing, hair coming out by the handfuls as if I've had chemotherapy, mind paralysis, being hypnotized or placed in a trance-type state, being tracked by a drone or satellite, controlled dreams, sleep deprivation, B2K, which is voice to skull, projected sound, extreme muscle spasms, and extreme muscle cramps, being made to fall down, blue circles around the pupils of my eyes, and I'm here and you can look at them if you like. Low frequency noises in my home, high frequency noises in my home, sexual stimulation. Numerous electrical appliances in my home are destroyed. 4 computers, 2 fax machines, 7 telephones. I am watched in my home 24 hours a day and followed around everywhere I go, though I do not have a criminal history.
I give thanks, give thanks. Believe it or not, sometimes them say the truth stranger than fiction. Literally. Yeah man, them say the truth sometimes stranger than fiction. But again, we do give thanks. Kamai Williams, salute, Anna King, long time out the warrior, long time. Why the people are so easy to manipulate when each one has his or her own experience with the government politics. You have a point. Well, that's when I just share the information. I say you have a lot of people and brain kind of wash out. Them can only function according to how them learn in a school, the conditioning, the programming, all of these things. And then the Babylon have a way to use the technology to emit signals out there, frequency out there where disturb your neurological area, disturb your equilibrium. And these things are fact, these things are true, but again, you have people now have no interest in a truth. You understand them say, yeah, it's too complicated and it disrupt them comfortable life. But we just do our due diligence, we do our duty, and just share some information and say give thanks. Again, the brave may fall but never yield, and we say bold and brave out there, firm and strong, salute, complete gratitude for the past through. Sammy Bowler, Kemoy, Anna out there.